Gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to the channel. I wasn't even planning on making this video, but one of the things is that another man's trash could be another man's treasure. So we created the Trash to Treasure segment on the Techtinkronics channel. This is great. This is good stuff. Be sure to like, subscribe, and all that good stuff. We got a few things before us that we got to clean. Yeah, we got quite a bit to clean actually. So what you're going to need today is Q-tips, paper towels, a blower, or like a duster, electronic duster, and need gloves. Alright? And I'm going to put these gloves on before I even pull this up out of here. And I want to get this clean and check it out before I even plug it in or anything like that. So let's get started and make sure you guys like this stuff. We at the Techtinkronics channel, we make videos for humans. We do not make videos for algorithms. We don't care about an algorithm. Alright, so this is what I found in the dumpster today. It appears though this is a device that is used to do like inventory, you know? Inventory at the store. That's what it is. Okay? So I'll try to give us the best view possible. We'll all see that that this is what it is. It's got a few things attached to it, such as this, something like this. I think I might put it in the wash, if that, for now. Okay. And before I really examine this thing even too further, I want these straps out of the way. It appears that this device hasn't been used in a while. It's battery powered. I have two of them. I tried to turn it on this morning, but I couldn't get nothing to turn on. So we're gonna go ahead, remove some of the straps. We're gonna prepare to get these like in the wash or something like that, because these are really funky and dirty. So I'll set that aside. Same thing here. You got the hand piece. You know what I mean? So who knows? I don't know what this is, honestly. I could tell you a few things about it. It's got a USB port on the side, if you will. And then it's covered up with a piece of rubber. It has like some protective things. It has like some cable or port for which I don't know what it is. Now, as dirty as I don't know what. So what we could do is maybe we can take a look and see what the device actually is before we even, you know, get really started on it. I don't have long to do right now, so I got to get this other device here and see if I can find out what it is. That's all. That's what we're going to do today. While I'm here, I had to go and just get my phone. Our internet is off today, so we let no time go to waste. Alright, so what I'm going to do is, while I'm on the internet, I'm going to see what this is right away, you know? That's what I want to do. And then we're going to just get started on cleaning it up, and then hurry it up, getting it on the charger, and seeing what we could do with it. If anything, clean it up. And if we could get it to, you know, boot and turn on and this, that, and the other, we have something to work with, you know. I don't know what this is or how it comes out, but we should see. Alright, so apparently what we have here is a battery, ladies and gentlemen. So that's got, we want to get everything accessible here. I don't know what that is, but maybe we could find out. I never owned one of these, but I'm always curious about gadgets. So I think that, I don't know, I'm going to have to use something a little bit more than my fingernail on that. It's good to have your tools because they come very handy. I don't know what this is right here, but we'll see. Okay, it doesn't want to come up, so we're not going to even force it much. Some of the things that I noticed is like it's cracked in certain places. It took a beating. What it is, it's a graphic order terminal, right? Graphic order terminal. So what it is, that's what it is. It's from NEC. They don't really make consumer grade equipment. Let's see if we could get a model number off of this somehow. So that's where my handy dandy magnifying glass would help. Alright, so I don't even know what this is. To be honest, this is kind of alien to me. Takes 12 volts, 1.7 amps. I think that 1636-01 would be the model number. So let's see if this is the beauty of having the internet. You could like look this stuff up as you go, get real-time information. If I found this like 20 years ago or 30 years ago or something like that, it wouldn't be so lucky. I'd have to figure it out on my own. Alright, let's see. -01. So this model number, this 1636-S1636, comes up on the searches. Let me see if I can fix the typo that I made here. Alright. Before I start cleaning it, I want to know what it is. Alright. So this is a, the NEC 1636-01 is a graphic order terminal featuring touchscreen interface designed for industrial, retail, or hospitality applications. Often sold and used as is conditional sites like eBay, terminals are designed for interactive rapid ordering tasks, typically require verification of functionality upon purchase. Okay, that's cool. Okay, let's see. Wow, that's hilarious. They go for like $19.95. Okay, so that's a parts not working situation. Okay, so what if this does work? I don't want to download the eBay app. I'm gonna go back. All right, I want to see one that actually works. Maybe this would work. So, I mean, like, they're offering it for $108. This is like, if I can get this to work, that's $108 or so that I dug out of the trash can. That's what we're about on this channel here. We like doing this type of stuff. I want to know more, though. Like, what could I run on it? How much RAM does it have? Like, what does it do? But, you know, obviously what it does. Let's see, for parts not working. Okay. So then my other question becomes, all right, what could be installed? Okay, I gotta spell installed right. On it and how? All right, so it's a graphical order. It's a specialized graphic order terminal. Sometimes this is part of the S18, S11 series, primarily used on automated, restaurant, or industrial environments for tracking orders and controlling processes. Features a touchscreen interface and generally is considered legacy or industrial hardware. Often sold in the secondary market as is for parts. What could be installed on it? Because this is an industrial terminal rather than a standard PC, capabilities are generally locked to specialized software. These units typically run proprietary embedded NEC software designed for graphic user order entry or point of sale functionality. Okay. Wow. Wow. So this could be a very interesting production here. All right. So for the time being, all right, let's get it started. We got to get cleaning on this. I got to go. All right, well, so what has to happen, right, is all this stuff got to be cleaned off of it. I can't turn it on right away, but what I can do is I can get some of this stuff out of here. We got some wipes and things like that. We'll just start it off this way because the whole purpose is I got to get this clean and then I got to get out of here. That's all. I bought some decaf coffee. I don't drink decaf, so I gotta go back and get some coffee. It's a shame. Alright, so we're gonna just start it off. There's some really gooky stuff here. So this might be a little bit more complex than what I would imagine. You know what I mean? Might require some additional research. You know? I mean, it's not like you could play music. It's not a consumer grade piece of hardware or anything like that. So my only hope for it is, in this trash to treasure segment, can we get this? Look at that. Look at this. This is disgusting. Ew. We'll just try to clean it up a little bit, get this stuff off, you know, and hopefully, you know, we could turn this little bit of trash into some kind of treasure, you know what I mean? The thing about trash is that you gotta know is that they threw it out for a reason, and the reason may not be known by me or the one who picked it up, but you could also find value that they probably did not see. I mean, if it turns on, which I hope it does at least, you know, at least that's half the battle right there, you know. If we could get it to turn on, the thing is, we could take it, we could open up our eBay account and sell it. I mean, or I could keep it for my own inventory purposes and things like that. The possibilities on this item are just endless. And then means like I lost my job for some stupid reason. This is kind of a blessing. So let's go. Now make sure you get that liquid out of there. So I mean, it's nasty, some of it. Like, you gotta look at the environment it was in, and this thing like that. We don't even know what year this thing was made. Let's see if I can. When you're doing this, you want to be careful not to get too much of the liquid on in here. Alright, so we got the surface of the top, so we can go ahead and work the side just like that. You know what I mean? Because before I even do anything with it, before I even put it in the charger, I think I want to clean it out. It doesn't have to be super, super clean because there's only so much cleaning that you could do to it. But even just this little bit of cleaning will help, you know, with the handling of it. Because, I mean, like, if it's secondhand at the dumpster, you gotta clean it off. That's just a fact. For safety reasons, I'm wearing gloves, and for safety reasons, I've got to clean it off because I don't know where this thing's been, you know, to be honest, you know what I mean? and it's critical that we clean it to protect our health and things like that. So that's why this is the first segment of this video involves cleaning the first device. And I mean, it's some nasty stuff on there, bro. Nasty, disgusting. You gotta get it all off, bro. All of it. Like, we're not playing. I am not playing. This just gotta be clean and spotless, you know? That's important, you know what I mean? And I'm just using the same method for which I showed earlier on the channel of getting at this with the disinfectant wipes and then quickly wiping it off so that the stuff don't dry up on it, you know, things like that. That's important. Get every nook and cranny, and that's what we're gonna do. It didn't take too long to do because we don't have to sit there and wax on and wax off, wax on and wax off. Now on the screen, I have the option of, say, using like one of these microfiber cloths, but I'm not going to use that. I'm going to save that for my phones and whatnot because I mean, the screen is in such a shape, as we could all see. It's not really worth getting the microfiber cloth involved in it right away. It is a touch screen device. It's got buttons and things like that, so we'll just go ahead and go over it a little bit more. This piece of paper towel is done, so I'm going to grab the next one and go from there. So this is kind of like an unboxing, because we found it this morning, and I went to the place to get a cup of coffee. And it's all because I bought decaf. I can't drink decaf, so usually I wouldn't go in this time of year and get coffee. But because I did, what I found was, oh, it's interesting. Look at this. Look at this. It's got ports for like headsets and things like that, in a microphone. All right. So apparently they saw fit to put a piece of tape over the battery. I'm just gonna pull that off and put that to the side through the trash. Okay. What I am gonna do, let's take a look, just for the sake of argument. What is this piece for? I'm gonna get a little screwdriver, right? A little Phillips screwdriver, and just take a look at what these parts are here. And why are they here before I even... Oh, excuse me. Alright, I don't know what that is for. Might be something like the CMOS battery or something like along those lines. I don't really see anything, but I mean, there's a screw there if we wanted to open it and this, that, and the other. So I am going to put this back on and just leave it alone, leave it be. Just get it on in there. All right, and we're gonna get on with the cleaning real soon here. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take this battery out here. Now apparently what happens here is the battery, the locking mechanism, because if I pull this one over here, the locking mechanism is broken on this one. There's no lock mechanism. Well, it's part of the lock mechanism, the switch or whatever, but it's missing. Okay. So that's what it is. And I guess you said earlier in the video I tried to start it up with the, but I don't know what this is. Okay, now we got that. This is some type of battery. Maybe it's their version of the CMOS battery. There's a couple of different things in here, and it plugs in, I guess, in a modular fashion. Okay. So while we're here, might as well. Alright, and then we're gonna replace this part here. It's got cracks in the thing, the casing. Let's see if we can get that in there. That's probably what they probably broke it doing this. Okay, I see how it goes in. You just gotta look at it, don't force it. Maybe use your tools to get that notch in there, and then we got it secured again. So the back of it is ready for us. Now we gotta get this duster, keep the work area clean. And we got some more tape. I think we could take that off. That's not gonna help us get it all of that clean. Of course, there's a good reason why they put the tape there, which I really don't want to find out. Now the tape is sticking to me, and I don't want the tape sticking to me, but I can't help it. But in the interest of cleaning, I see what's going on here. All right, so I'm not going to spend too much time on that tape. It's not really all that necessary. Since we are on that, ideally, what you could do is if you have a towel or something, you could put it down there, but I'm not really trying to put it down. Even a little bit of dirt got on my hands. All right, so we did that part. It's time for the wipe, and it's time for some paper towels. So let's get it started. All right, so we use 2 paper towels. Basically, let's see what we're gonna do. We're gonna ball them up. And when we do it, the way we do it is we hit a little bit at the time the area that we want to hit. Okay? That's what we do. Okay, so that's it's a S163601. Same thing. It's got a serial number that is what 200 unit what's the word I want to use? 200 it's 200 less or so, 200 more than the serial number on the other one in the series. So this is some interesting stuff, guys. Support the channel, support the platform, help us out, support the platform. Click the like button, share the video. Let's do it. All right, let's get it, ladies and gentlemen. Just getting them nooks and crannies. Get a little bit at a time. Sometimes it doesn't hurt to squeeze out the liquid, the disinfectant wipe before even hitting this part. But the dirt and such is so strong that we ain't got no choice but to get in there with what we got and get it going, you know. Same difference. I'm gonna do a little different, cover in kind of a thirds, you know, pattern, and then we'll look at that battery compartment when we cross that bridge, when I flip it to the side. But some of this dirt on there, I mean, it's coming off quite nicely for everybody to see. And you don't want this disinfectant to dry up on it, because what happens is it leaves its residue, and that's why I do this the way I do it. And this gets it clean in the most efficient way. Because what I'm going to do here is I'm going to clean the units as best as I can. I got a little bit of stuff in this little thingy there. Let's see if we can get any more of that out. Don't want any garbage or anything like that. I don't know what that is. It's like stuck in there, man. Ew. Ew. I don't know what it is. I mean, these people could have did this, that, and the third with this. Who knows? It's in a working environment, and hardware in a work environment is just hardware in a work environment. It's not the same as one caring for their personal computer or something like that. It's just exactly what it is. So with that, and the being in the environment it was working in, it was a food type environment where food was prepared, of course, and that's what you would expect for a device like this. It's got stuff and cooked, caked in the nooks and crannies. So what we're gonna do is get this section here and try to do as best as we can. It's not gonna be 100% perfect or pretty, because it is what it is, you know. But it'll help. It helps with the process to get this stuff cleaned up. So with this apparently there's some screws here on the battery compartment thing. I guess that's the servicing area where you can and I got some where you can fix on it and stuff like that. Won't get it perfectly clean, but there's some like stuff that's in there. You see some of that? You don't want that on there. All right. So that's that. What's it got to do? What's it got to do? We got to get it all cleaned up so we could charge it, so that by the time I come back home, I could do the other part of this video and get it to turn on at least, or something of that nature. We're going to get some of the fibers and stuff on, stuff like that. My concern is not really getting it super clean, but just clean enough to where the germs that were on it are not on it anymore, and that we could work it and figure out what it is and what it does and that sort of thing. I'm gonna go to another, even this, let's see if we get that to stay in there. And apparently they might have been, these devices may not have been ran for quite a while, so I don't know. And at worst, you could sell them for parts. You know what I mean? I could sell them for parts because they're obviously still using them more or less in the industry. I'm not involved in that industry myself per se. I'm not a restaurant working type person or a convenience store type of person. But I have seen these at the store I was at in use by the staff or whatever. And they walk around with these things with the handheld straps, and they'd be doing the inventory stuff. And I'd be seeing them, you know, not really knowing at that time that I would acquire this from them. It's kind of cool, you know. You just stay and do your head in the sand and do your business, and then, you know, stuff kind of lands in your lap. And for them, it's trash, but for me, it is a wonderful opportunity for the channel, and that's what it is. Oh yeah. Okay, hold on. Alright, so we're almost done cleaning this. And then we have one more piece of this to clean, and that would be the, what you call the charging unit and the batteries, of course. Let's get that pad nice and, you know, whose fingers been on there and what they've been doing with their fingers and this and the other. It is what it is. Humans. But anyway, we're almost done. And I'm gonna hit it with the duster, the air duster thingy, and there's got some scratches on the screen, some cosmetic damage, and we'll see what we can draw out. So that's okay. So I'm gonna put this right next to this other unit, and then I'm gonna stop first. Alright, what we have before us at this time is some batteries to clean. So we're gonna take the materials and get some new cleaning materials. The batteries that we pulled off of these units needs to be cleaned as well, real quick, and then and that's how we do it. That is how we do it. Alright, so keep your area clean, keep this clean. We're just balling up and preparing to do these batteries as well. there's no sense in cleaning the units and not the batteries too. So we'll start first with a new wipe, new fresh wipe, a couple of paper towels and such. And we get the duster out. And we'll just hit them batteries each. Alright, so we're ready. Everything's getting blown all about and everything. Alright, so we're just going to get these batteries nice and straight for us. Same thing, just clean this stuff off, you know. The battery has a lot of sharper edges, it'll rip your paper towel up. But at the end of the day, we don't want this disinfectant to, we don't want it to like dry up and leave a residue essentially. So that's why we do this way. Same thing, just gonna get in there with the duster and just alright. Just wipe it down one more time. I noticed I didn't do the edges because they got like a texture to them that will just destroy the paper towel. That's all it will do. We're ready for the next one. There's a little bit of dirt and debris that we got off of it. The same difference. Yeah. So that's it. I'm not really trying to be too detailed. I can't get it spotless or anything like that. But I can just do the best job that I can to get kind of the most of it off, most of the debris and stuff off, and hit it with this. Alright, we'll set it there aside for now. And I'm just gonna wrap this part of the phase up. And then we gotta get these on the charger. Right? Apparently they might have been sitting for I don't know how long. And we'll see. Yeah, this one's pretty dirty here. I just want to get the surfaces that are important. Some gook on there that we can't even get off, I guess. Use a harsh abrasive or something like that to get at it. That helps, but you don't want to scratch the plastic, that's all. But it helps to get that just a low pressure type of scratching to get that harsh abrasives off away. So we cleaned like 3 batteries in a period of like 4 minutes. Not bad. Alright, now alright, what we have here is the charging device here. And what we have to do is we're gonna have to like take it outside because the amount of debris and dust on it is just unacceptable for this location. It is what it is. It's got to get cleaned up and that sort of thing. So our thing is to dust it off first and take this blower here outside with this, and then I'm gonna do that right away. That's important because the dust is better outside. Alright, so we are back at it. We took this unit outside and we dusted as much of the dust off as we could for the time being. Now what is there to do? We're going to need a few Q-tips to get some of the nooks and crannies out. Alright, so there's deep areas that we have to get at. I think what we could do is we could start it off with like some Q-tip action, and then we'll go for the wipes. I'm going to use a little bit of alcohol on the Q-tip. I'm not going to. It wouldn't hurt to spray it on the unit itself, but I'm not going to do that. What I am going to do is Just get everything I need right away, ready for this. I need gloves. Let me get my gloves on. Let's see here. Get them ready. Put everything back in its place. And then we're going to move forward with this project. And the thing about it is, you don't know what's broken on it, what works, what doesn't work. But at worst, it could be all be sold parts. That's all I know. So what we'll do is just get our balled up paper towels lined up, because it's going to take quite a bit of material to get this clean anyway. And just have everything ready. Let's get these things out of the way so that we're not tripping over ourselves with tools and such. Magnifying glass out the way, screwdriver, this other screwdriver. Every tool has its place, and things like that. The battery, like, they give you 3 batteries, 2 for the units and 1 that sits in the charger like that. So move that stuff out of the way. And then what we got to do is prepare to get it going here as far as cleaning is concerned. I want to get the majority of the debris and dust and such off of it. And then we want to, I guess, just wipe it down as best as we can. I think we're going to need 3 wipes, 3 disinfectant wipes for the surface area in which we have cleaned today. Make sure that's nice and sealed for this. Put that in its place. Alright, so I'm going to start over here. Pick it up a little bit. Get some of this material, like, you know, debris and such off. It's got like a crevice or a crease that I've got to work at. And then quickly kind of wipe off the disinfectant wipes so you're not working against yourself with the disinfectant wipe. I'm going to go for kind of the top of the top, you know. And this goes a long way in presentability, because at least if the charger works, that's one thing. It depends on what you have left. That helps. You know, somebody might need a charger, or that, and the third. And you never know. There's so much caked up dirt on here. It's amazing. I'm gonna get as much of it off as we possibly can for this particular surface. And then while we're at it, I'm gonna dry it off some of this material so that, and it's some really hard stuff in there. I mean, they bake chicken and pizzas and things like that. Stuff that I wouldn't even eat from the place, but because I don't eat out anymore. But this goes a long way in terms of product presentability, if you will. That's important, you know. If you've got trash and it looks like trash, it's not going to sell well. But if you've got trash and you clean it up a little bit, it makes all the difference in the world, you know. And that's the key. And this little bit of, for the Q-tips, we use that to get at areas that have stuff that we can't really get at. Then we call for the tool to get some of the stuff that is kind of caked in there. And in that case, you know, it wouldn't hurt to give it a little blow. Yeah, give it a little blow. With the air, not the air compressor, but the electric duster. So get some of the stuff that's just caked in there out of the way. I'm going to get in there. We're deep in this battery pit here with our disinfectant wipe. It doesn't hurt to get it a little bit, get as much as possible. Whatever this is, it's causing my nose to run. I have to stop for a minute and get my nose. Ugh. So, stirring up my allergies. And stuff like this will do that. Will do that. Just gonna slide in there. Because even the little speck of dirt, debris, throw off the cell, if you will. And this is where our alcohol comes in. I'm going to do a little tiny spray of it right there. Make sure you close it back up so that it doesn't evaporate. This alcohol will evaporate, given the slightest, just even the slightest little bit of air. And I'm just getting in the battery compartment area, particularly the connector, getting any debris out of there. And then it doesn't hurt to and since we're on the side, there's no sense in picking it up and flipping it around and bringing that over until I have gotten inside of this surface here. So we're going to hit that real quick. It's not even as bad as the top one piece here. But you're going to need like small hands to get into some of this area here. And it doesn't really take that long. And then a Q-tip or two to help if you can. Doesn't it doesn't hurt to do, and it goes a long way. And then this is real dirty, as we can see here. It's terrible. Throw that out. Go around, dry up this stuff that we did. Remember what you did and dry it up real quick. Otherwise, you'll be left with residue that you really don't want to have in here. And it almost looks like new. Just this little bit of elbow grease and work, if you will, goes a long way. So when I go to put this on eBay, if I choose to do that, you'd be amazed. And attention to detail is everything. It matters. And the stuff that's, got used a harsh abrasive, but don't scratch the plastic or anything like that. There's some caked in gook, if you will, that's got to come up. And at best, we could take one of these, and then since we got some loose pieces, get in there, pick that up, and then just get around it again, real quick, with a disinfectant wipe to wipe out any other debris. And then again, since that paper towel's done, we've got plenty of paper towels, get in there after yourself and clean it up. One of the things that we're going to do is make sure that the connection is making a good charge for us, or making a connection to the battery or the battery leads, if you will, to make sure that we're getting a good charge and everything like that. That's important. That's very important. Got to make the electrical connection. Dirt and debris is not a conductor of electricity. Not necessarily so. But making a connection to metal, that's where the conduction happens, if you will. Let's see here. Seeing just a little bit of harder stuff. And it's kind of the same difference here. So we're almost done. So that's good news. So I just want to hit this one more time. Hit that area. Get rid of the garbage. We're almost there. We're home free, ladies and gentlemen. We are home free, if you will. You can ball it up to make more of an impact on the crevices that you really can't reach. That always helps. And then one of the things that we could do is get our alcohol and hit these connections with a little bit of that, because they're kind of like goldish, you know, and making a good connection is everything. So I mean, like, just that little bit there is important. And then follow it up with a wipe, a quick brief wipe. Hit it with a little bit of air. It makes all the difference in the world. The back piece isn't that bad a shape, but because of the situation, every surface of this gets cleaned. That's just the nature of the beast. Make sure the switch is off before we do anything with it, so that we don't cause a problem of some sort. Because we're about to, we're just going to see if it even charges at least. And we'll do that. And then, you know, don't get too much disinfectant wipe in there, or disinfectant wipe material liquid, because that could be very bad for electronics. So you want to be cautious of that. And I'm notorious for just letting it all go. We got the bottom piece here. May as well get what we can off of it. That's very important, you know, because it all makes a difference. Because when you take a photo of this to make a cell, it's got to look like something that somebody would buy. It can't look like it came out the dumpster, you know. And that's important. It goes a long way. It increases the value of the product you're trying to sell. Everything's for sale. Everything's a promo, bro. Everything's a promo. That's what it is these days. Gotta get it out the mud, so to speak, if you will. Let's see, try to spin it around a little bit. Just like be careful if you want to do some harsh stuff on here. Just try not to scratch the metal too much of anything at all. Just like, you know, just try to do as best we can. We won't get it 100% clean, but what we have here helps. We don't want to scratch it too much, as you see there. This metal does scratch a little easily. It might be steel or something along those sorts, you know. It might not be stainless free, I don't know, but it's amazing how we have all this stuff in this modern day and age. And what I'm seeing here too is the vents. The vents are important. So this should be probably done outside, but since we're in here, I could go so far as to open it up and clean it, but I'm not going to do that in the interest of time. Plus, honestly, I never owned one of these, so I wouldn't know exactly what I'm looking at. So it's probably best just to leave it alone. This is probably like some vent type material here. So since we're under it, you know, may as well just get it nice and good. We're running out of paper towel on this particular thing, because there's a lot of surface area for the charger. The charger makes all the difference. Now we are ready. Let's see. Let's get rid of the garbage. Let's see here. I'll set the tool aside. We may need it again. Put that up there and just clean up the work area just a little. Get rid of the debris. Alright. use this to dry it off a little bit. All right, and then I turned it around to get us at this location. We're at the last stretch of the ball game. And the same thing that we did to the other side, we're going to do to this side here. We're going to need a paper towel or two. I love these little half pieces. And we're not just using any paper towel. These are the thick paper towels. These are the same paper towels that I use to help with my allergy situation, because they don't rip like a tissue or toilet tissue or anything like that. But they do rip. They're not the best, the strongest thing in the world, but it makes all the difference in the world, especially for something like this. And when you're dealing with like harsh abrasives and surfaces, you got to use something that's not going to put a bunch of cloth fibers, paper cloth fibers on your stuff, right? So while I'm here, may as well get at the front. In order for us to do that, we're going to need another wipe or two. I'm going to go with 2 wipes. I could use 3, but man, I go through wipes like crazy. I wash the cell phone down every morning. Every morning it's my ritual to clean my cell phone, because yesterday's germs are not good enough to be carried around today, right? That's what I say. And it's like the germs of the people that had this before me are not good enough for me to be carrying around anyway. So let's go. Let's get it. Let's get at the front surface. Just get the little nicks and crannies that, you know. And while we're on the side, we can go ahead and get this side over here, kind of the same as what we did on the other one, or the other side. And that's important, you know. It makes for cleaning this, makes it look right, and all that good stuff. Lay it on its side. Don't let this liquid dry up, because then it is a whole nother, you know, thing. And it's more elbow grease you would have to use to get rid of it, or more liquid to get rid of that. Then we got the front piece, so we're going to work the front as best as we can. This is just a charger device. And this is quite an elaborate charger, you know what I mean? I'd almost be curious enough to take it apart to see why so much of a charger. Why not like a brick, like a laptop, you know what I mean? But this is industrial stuff, and it's a little different. It's industrial grade. So industrial grade is robust. It's more reliable than consumer grade material. And that's just how it is. But you're going to pay a bit for it. That's another thing too. Oh yeah. Let me get in here, get under there, and just regroup on some of that we covered. Alright, and it looks a lot better. It looks like 10 times better than what it did when it got here. Now we are down to kind of the last stretch of the cleaning phase. I see a little bit of something there that we can maybe get up, and maybe we can get in there with a fingernail, which I don't have much for. And then once again, we're going to dry the disinfectant off of the surface. Get in that crack there with a sharp end, so you can see that we have like the sharp end. So it's not sharp per se. You can't cut nobody with it or anything, or can't cut yourself with it. But it's sharper than the blunt end, if you will. Alright, so, and then I'm seeing, like, you gotta flip it around. You can see, like, different things, you know what I mean? At the end of the day, I don't want a speck of dust on this thing, you know? And there's just gonna be some stuff that you can't even get up right away. And that's just how it is. All this stuff is gone. That we're ready to get in here. Just go for the sidewall right now. Quickly get a paper towel, dry the sidewall of the battery or unit compartment. Go for the other side of the battery compartment, or not the battery compartment, but the charging compartment for the unit. And it's like the same thing as what we did on the other side, more or less. Sometimes you're gonna have a slightly different situation. Like maybe I'm getting tired, but well, This is not easy work, that's for sure. I'm gonna try to wipe up some of that and wipe up what I got on the inside here. And another thing too, I don't know how this unit works or what it sounds like, but I know it's got some fans. I hope it doesn't make a whole lot of noise, because that would kind of suck. Alright, so, just, there's a lot of debris here that it's got to come up. Sometimes you got to ball up the wipe to get at it. We got a paper towel here. We are home free, home free. Alright, so that's that. That's that. And the one last thing I'm going to do is hit all the connectors with some of this alcohol, rubbing alcohol, just to make sure that it gets a good connection and actually charges the device. And another thing you could do too is you could carefully use your disinfectant wipe and like wipe down in the crevice to help you get, because there's some things that the video here won't show you about this device, that's for sure, that you can't see because it's too fine for the camera. But the areas that I can't get in, it doesn't hurt to get at them with something like this, but you gotta be careful not to go breach the breach the disinfectant wipe and scratch your stuff up. You know what I mean? Alright. We're almost there. I think we got that back wall of this compartment. And we gotta get down in the nitty gritty of this compartment. Hit that wall again. Hit some of that area, get some of this stuff up. Because, I mean, these people are like doing pizzas, doing chicken. And the grease from that goes up in the air. Sometimes they might be touching stuff and doing a sale. And that gets in here too. So, and there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. I really, I did as best as I could with it. One last thing I want to do is get this Q-tip on that connector right there with the alcohol, and that's gonna be that. That's gonna be that. Make sure we're making a nice connection and that sort of thing. And that. Just get I think we're satisfied with what we have thus far. And that's gonna be it for this part. And edit it. And then go from there. Ladies and gentlemen, it looks like the unit is charging. You can see that there's amber or orange lights right there. And if you look in the middle, if I kill this light for a second, you can see in the middle there's a battery indicator right there. That's for the middle battery. And then you have the power. So at least this part works. Just the charger I know works. The only thing I could do now is leave it alone, let it charge a little while, and then we'll get back to it in another day and we'll take a look at what this thing has to offer. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you're not already subscribed, this, that, and the third. And make sure that you hit the notification bell and stuff like that. I don't know what that orange light means, but I guess we'll just let it be and see what it is. I don't know. But as long as it was cool, we'll just let it charge for now.